Welcome back to the Igniting Curiosity in Life Science. So today we'll discuss about the respiration in plants and the animals. Okay. So have you ever wondered both plants and animals stay alive? Whether it's a human, a cat, or even a tiny leaf. Okay. Every living cell needs energy to survive, right? And that energy comes from a process called the respiration, right? In today's video, we will explore how respiration happens in both plants and animals, simply, clearly, and visually, right? So you can see that even breathing, okay, or the respiration is the biochemical process, okay, in which what happens, the food is mainly converted into energy. That is what food that is what in the form of a glucose, okay, it is broken down to release what the energy, right? And also you can see that the equation of the respiration. So glucose, that is C6H12O6 plus 6 molecule of a oxygen, okay, it gives water 6 molecule of a carbon dioxide plus 6 molecule of water and liberation of a energy in the form of a ATP, right? So glucose from food, okay, in case of animals, or photosynthesis in case of plants, right? And oxygen, okay, it is taken during the breathing, okay, and energy which is released in the form of a ATP, okay, ATP, that is nothing but what, adenosine triphosphate. So glucose molecule, finally it is converted into what, the ATP, okay, that process we can call it as what, a respiration, right? And so in this picture you can see that glucose, it is broken down and it forms what, the energy currency, that is what, the ATP, okay, adenosine triphosphate, okay. And respiration in case of plants. So plants also respire even though they make food by the process of photosynthesis, okay. So what happens in the daytime, photosynthesis produces what, the oxygen and uses what, a carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight, and respiration uses oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, right? The two processes occur simultaneously, but photosynthesis is faster than the net CO2 is going to be absorbed, okay. And what happens during night time, only respiration occurs, no photosynthesis, because for photosynthesis light is required, right? So during night only respiration process occurs, and plants take in oxygen and releases what, the carbon dioxide, okay. And actual pathway occurs here is oxygen enters through the stomata of leaves and lenticels, okay, what in case of stems, okay, and CO2 diffuses out the same way, right? And energy is released in each cell's mitochondria, as we studied, okay, as we know that energy means mainly the energy is released from the mitochondria only releases what, the energy in the form of ATP, okay, how it is produced and all we discussed in the previous videos, right? So even, okay, here in this picture in this video you can see that the respiration in plants, how it is occurs, okay, carbon dioxide is taken in and O2 is releasing, okay, gases exchanges in a leaf. Then move on to the respiration in the animals. So in case of animals, okay, animals are having so many the organs, okay, specialized organs, so that even the respiration also taking completely different compared to the plants, okay. In step 1 breathing occurs, that is what, the physical process, okay. What is actually happening here, taking in oxygen and releasing CO2 through organs, okay. What type of organs? Through lungs, gills, skin, like that, okay, based on the type of organism or the animals, okay. And in step 2 cellular respiration occurs. That is what a chemical process. So inside cells, so what happens? Glucose plus oxygen, it releases what the carbon dioxide plus water molecule along with the energy in the form of a ATP, right? And in case of a humans, what happens? As I said, humans are having more than different organs for the respiration. So first thing, air enters through the nose, okay, and reaches to the trachea, and finally it reaches to what? The lungs and the alveoli, okay. And gas exchanges, that is what? O2, it enters blood, and CO2 it releases from the body, okay. And blood carries what? The oxygen to all the cells, okay. And mitochondria in cells, it perform what? The cellular respiration. By that we get what? The energy, okay, in the form of a ATP. So here in the picture you can see that the nose, okay, from the nose, okay, through the trachea, okay, and lungs and the alveoli. How it is what the main organs which are mainly involved in the respiration process in case of the animals, okay. And compared to the animals, even different organisms, that is what the eukaryotes, okay, they are also having the respiratory the function, and based on the different type of animals, okay, the respiratory organs are also going to be differ. So for example, in case of fishes, they use what? The gills for the respiration, and in case of the earthworm, they use the skin, okay, through the skin the earthworm can respire, okay. And in case of insects, spiracles and tracheal tubes are going to be used for the respiration. And in case of a frog, okay, they use both lungs and the skin, okay. As you know that the metamorphosis occurs in the frog, so during the tadpole stage they occur what? Like a means they looks like a fishes in structure, so that they use in that time, okay, they use what they perform the respiration through the lungs, okay. In later on, what at the adult stage, they use what? The skin for the respiration. And here it is what? A comparison chart I have given, so that you can compare easily in which organisms the respiratory organs are involved and in which media, okay. For example, in case of humans, okay, the respiratory organ is the lungs and medium mainly the air, okay. And in case of fishes, the gills are the respiratory organs and medium is the water. And in case of earthworm, okay, skin acts as a respiratory organ and same the air, okay, media. And insects, okay, spiracles, and the medium is the air. And in case of a frog, okay, lungs plus skin, okay, it is both air and the water media are going to be used. And main types of a respiration, as we know that respiration occurs mainly by two processes, okay, or the two types, that is aerobic respiration and the anaerobic respiration. So in case of aerobic respiration, what happens? The air, the organisms are going to use the air, okay. The respiration occurs in presence of air, that is we can call it as what? The aerobic respiration. And in anaerobic respiration, the absence of a air, that is respiration occurs in absence of a air, that is we can call it as what? The anaerobic respiration. So which type of a respiration and oxygen it is used or not, and what are the products which are obtained after the respective the respiration types and example, okay. In aerobic respiration, yes, oxygen is used, and products water, carbon dioxide plus water molecule plus energy, okay. And example, humans and the plants, right. And anaerobic respiration, oxygen is not used, and products water, alcohol plus CO2, okay, in case of a yeast, and lactic acid in case of a mussels, okay. And in case of a for example, anaerobic respiration example, yeast and the mussels during the exercises, okay. And remember one thing, during heavy exercise, okay, our muscles may not get enough oxygen, remember that. It gives what? A temporary anaerobic respiration. That is how the lactic acid build up it occurs, and muscle cramps are also occurs in some situations during heavy exercise, right? That also mainly occurs in the anaerobic condition, right? And this is what are the types of respiration. And finally we reached what the summary. So the overall the class what today's content we discussed, that is what the summary. So respiration, it is energy releases from the food, okay, and mainly it occurs in all the living organisms, okay, and the types are different of course, but respiration occurs in all the organisms, okay, and plants respire day as well as in night, okay, and animals use different organs for the respiration based on the type of animals. And aerobic versus anaerobic respiration, the differences we studied, right? So this is what all about today's content. If you found this video helpful, please like and share, and also comment below, and also do subscription for more and more videos, biology videos like this. Keep supporting, and see you in the next video. Thank you.